This video will be as much as unscripted as possible because, I don't know, I just feel like doing it is better and I don't want to write an entire script about it. I tried, but I think it ended up being very bad, so I'm just trying this again, but unscripted. So Rockstar Games updated their website a few weeks ago, and there were some like assets containing something Red Dead Redemption related, and a lot of people speculated that Rockstar was going to either remaster Red Dead Redemption or remake it for modern platforms, those being PlayStation 5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC. Which sounded pretty exciting, although I was very skeptical considering the last time they remastered one of their older games, that turned out like really badly, so I just kind of had a very low bar for myself. So I was like, yeah, you know what, this is kind of exciting, but at the same time, I was just very skeptical. Also, to anyone curious, I made an entire video about this topic. Please check it out for the love of God. So then fast forward to August 7th on Monday, and it turns out that this remaster was basically nothing but just a port to the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch. And in case you're wondering, yes, there's no PC port this time around as well. And from what I gathered, this port is incredibly bare bones, so I'm just gonna list a few things that are on the top of my head. So this game was 1080p on PlayStation 4. I have no idea what the resolution is on Nintendo Switch gonna be, so I'm probably gonna guess like 720p maybe. No enhanced graphics at all. It's pretty much a bare bones port. The game is also capped at 30 FPS, which is, you know, kind of lame to be honest. They're including the Undead Nightmare expansion, which is pretty cool. However, this version also does not have the game's multiplayer, which is, oof, if you ask me. So yeah, it's just a port, which I wouldn't mind having it exist at all if it wasn't for the fact that the price tag that they were attaching this port was $50. To which the Take-Two Interactive CEO said the following.
That's just what we believe is the commercially accurate price for it.
Oof, now that is ridiculous, especially if you consider the fact that you can buy the Xbox 360 version digitally for $30, which is also backwards compatible on Xbox One and Xbox Series X, which, by the way, has 4K resolution support if you own a Xbox One X or Xbox Series X, which is just absolutely ridiculous, man. So that in and of itself isn't worthy to make an entire video about, which is unscripted, by the way. However, on Thursday, on the exact same week this this port was announced, something amazing happened, and that is that Bethesda actually shadow dropped a Quake 2 remaster during QuakeCon, and I played it, and it is amazing. It's such a really good remaster that before I discuss the actual price, let me just list some of the features that I'm completely aware of exist in this remaster. So they upgraded the visuals a little bit. They made some high-definition models that also are sticking true to the game's art style, which is great. Both the expansions for the original Quake 2 are available for free. There's also a brand new one made by Machine Games, who also did their own little expansion for when Quake 1 was remastered like 2 years ago. And they also added the Nintendo 64 port as a additional bonus, and that version of Quake 2 was actually just like a completely, different level design that however used Quake 2 assets. So it is still Quake 2, just with like completely different levels, which is very interesting. They also brought back the soundtrack by Sonic Mayhem, which I think is completely fantastic, and I think it's genuinely better than the one Quake 1 had. No offense to like the Quake 1 fans. I know that a lot of them just do not like Quake 2 at all. They think it's mid, which is a perfectly fine opinion to have. Make no mistake, I think Quake 2 is just a little bit mid, but I still think it's a really good game despite all the issues. They also did some noticeable gameplay tweaks. They did some like changes to the AI to make them even smarter and, for that matter, even more dangerous. They made weapon swapping a lot faster, which is like, very noticeable and a nice feature to have, I'm sure. But a lot of the Quake 2 haters will look at this and go like, that's like a really neat improvement. What else? They added like an inventory and a weapon wheel, which is very, very useful. And they added a compass, which allows you to basically show where you have to go next, which I think that's a very neat feature to have in my opinion. So yeah, this is an incredible port made by Night Dive, who are well known for remastering and hell, even remaking older games, as proven with their System Shock remake. And finally, the multiplayer mode works as intended. As a matter of fact, they gave this port some crossplay support between all the platforms. They also added in 4-player split screen, which is pretty cool. And if you have a Xbox Series X and a PC, that split screen can go up to 8 players, which is just insane and really fun at the same time. So yeah, all of these features that I listed on the top of my head and probably more for $10, which is just insanely good value in my opinion. Meanwhile, Rockstar is just releasing a bare bones port of Red Dead Redemption on PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch only, with no graphical improvements and still locked at 30 FPS for $50, which is just a incredibly stupid price for a 12-year-old game, which is like $10 less than what it will have cost it like 10 years ago. I know that some smartass is going to come in and say, oh, but during inflation, that will have cost it like 81 bucks. And I understand, but it's still way too much for a game like Red Dead Redemption. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth in my opinion. Also, let me be just very clear here. This isn't me trying to like diss Red Dead Redemption as a game. I think Red Dead Redemption is an amazing game, and people should play it. I just hope they do it smart and probably wait for a incredibly low sale, let's just say when the game goes like 25 bucks or something, so they can play it, because playing this game at $50 at launch is just so stupid. I cannot justify myself ever purchasing this port at all. And I mean, I don't even need to, because I have the Xbox version, which I purchased like for $5 like a year ago, so I don't care. I have my definitive way of playing Rockstar's masterpiece, Red Dead Redemption, so it's all good if you ask me. But yeah, it's still just a really stupid price to ask for all in all, and I really hope that Rockstar reverts their decision, because yeah, it's way too high off a price if you ask me. Quake 2 Remastered is, in my eyes, the clear winner, because not only did Night Dive Studios put a lot of effort into it, but also it's a free upgrade if you already own Quake 2 on Steam, GOG, and Microsoft Store, which is very cool. So that's a very good decision on their part, and I'm glad that they released this as a free upgrade, and new players can try this out, because I really like Quake 2, even if it has its issues. Also, I hope a lot of you play the game's multiplayer mode, because, haha, what if we accidentally revived the arena FPS genre overnight out of nowhere as a joke? That will be insanely funny. Listen, the current state of multiplayer first-person shooter is so goddamn dire, and I hope this actually gets revived. A friend of mine made an entire video about that. Please watch it. It's insanely good. Please. So yeah, I have nothing more to add on this conversation. Red Dead Redemption port is an absolute joke, and Bethesda once again wins very clearly. Which way, Western man? Tell me. Anyways, I'm just gonna disappear for a few weeks like I usually do, except this time I'm on vacation, and I'll probably try to work on something if possible. So yeah, see you later. So it's been around a day since I recorded the voiceover for this video, and now, before I even attempt to edit the video because of some IRL complications happening on my end, there's one thing that I need to address, which, as much as I would love to ignore, needs to be addressed. The Red Dead Redemption port will outsell the Quake 2 remaster in any single way possible. And I know this because of one major thing. Rockstar has an insanely loyal and dedicated fanbase, no thanks to the release of GTA 5 back in 2013. And if there's one thing that the sales of a GTA Trilogy remaster taught me, especially after said trilogy dropped on Steam earlier this year. It's that no matter how good or bad it is, it will sell incredibly well, as long as that goddamn yellow Rockstar logo makes an appearance. I understand that ending the video on this sad note seems so incredibly pointless, which I understand, but it's better to face reality now than later, is what they say. And with that, I'm ending the video. Please do yourself a favor and go ahead and support Bethesda by buying this incredible Quake 2 remaster if you're a sane human being, and I see you next time.
Excuse me.
Excuse you? No.